Heyo, Wolf here. Welcome back into another episode here on the single player world. It's such an amazing time. So what we'd like to just say is thank you so much to each and every single one of you for your beautiful and amazing support you have given us for this past few videos and also shorts as well on the channel. So we're actually going to be just tapping into very quickly of what's actually happening here on the single player world. So we have been doing a little bit of work away from camera, just to make sure that everything's all sorted. But as you can tell, the iron farm is working really well. But I have got some great news to show you. So first of all, we're not going to be doing that just yet. We do need to do some housekeeping here on the world, because that's really, really important at this moment of time is some housekeeping. But what we actually want to show you, from doing all this building work around the base, we've actually got two double chests of blocks of iron. Literally two double chests of 64 blocks. It's just this here is amazing. It's just crazy to even think about how well this has actually been going on for. This single double chest here is not really big enough no more, as you can tell. So we actually need to start really working on a manner where we can actually get all this sorted. I have been doing this so much as a general housekeeping for the server in general. And it is just pure crazy. I've never really had an iron farm what works this really well. But mind you, we are actually down at the spawn area for this. Let's just, first of all, let's just get this sorted out here. There we go. So we are actually in the spawn chunk area of the base, and it has been such astonishing a way of actually doing things. I've never really actually come across stuff like this too much. Mind you, actually trying to get stuff actually sorted as well. It's just purely just like, yeah, the best decision to actually build an iron farm and other farms actually within the spawn chunk area. I've like, yeah. So this has been a really great opportunity to actually show you guys that you do actually get a lot of the entire amount of iron to what you might actually need. I could actually build with these iron blocks, to be honest with you. And it's kind of like, can I actually do something really amazing with this? Maybe. But it is really awesome to actually even see this, to actually get this working. Now, of course, being off camera and getting stuff done, we've actually been working on a few extra bits. So this is actually the third double chest now of iron. So we've actually been working on getting the buildings built up, getting sorted. I still need to bring more villages in into this section here, but this is what we have got here. So we've got this built up to a certain extent for a storage room. So we do need to actually sort out the storage room anyway. Now this little gap here, is actually for us to come through into the back end. So we're actually going to be walking underneath. But we do need to set up 7 eye chest up. So that's what I'm actually going to be doing. So this is just of course I'm going to be starting off with this first 2 here because that's what's really needed, to be honest with you. So I'm actually really quite trust. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 roughly. And can I reach up to there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so I can only reach up to 6 even. So that's what we're just going to be doing then, and we're just going to be having 6 eye, and then do a roof on top of this. We're not going to go any higher than this, because we don't really need too much of the redstone or of a storage for this world, because we have got such a large storage area, because all this here is going to be storage that you're going around. So we do need to make sure that we've actually got our import area. So what we're actually going to be doing is, when we come into here where we can actually go down, there's actually going to be some stairs just whipping up onto the level, to try and get that sorted. But I am going to try and figure out the best way for this to come in. I might actually put some stairs out here to go on top, to actually bring this into the full size what we're wanting. So that's what we potentially might have to do. So it is actually just really quite of an amazing process we've actually done. Now, a lot of people would put like signs up or frames up with the items in. Some people do actually put in the blocks underneath. Now, underneath this grass area here is actually water. So if we do anything like that, we need to really consider about that. Now, oh, excuse me. Now we do need to take this up anyway, and that to redecorate this area up here. But that's quite an easy process, to say the least. So I'm just wanting to try and get this tire storage area set up as quickly as possible, because then we can then start moving stuff over from other areas of the building, because with this actually being in the spawn chunk area of the world, of a spawn area, we do actually have a lot of little things. I do actually need to make sure I've got a bed over in that area. So when we start really getting everything moved on and actually working correctly, this is what we're actually aiming to do. I also need to sort out the roof as well on this. So let's just grab that there. So we are just going to just work on this storage for this episode. I'm hoping to get this storage fully completed, and this is actually a fully automated storage. Now, I don't know how many chests I actually need for this, but it's massive, it's huge. And it is only due to the fact that that's what we want in for this world, is actually to have a big enough storage capacity, which is actually automated. And when we've actually then got that automated fully, we can then start moving along to getting other parts of the world actually leveled and actually moved forward a little bit. So we're still needing to do, like I said, and a lot of the villager side of things, because that is just taking a bit of time to get that done. So we are slowly working through everything in general. So let's just get this here all nicely set up, just like that. And this, of course, is just one side. So this is actually a automated redstone a storage system, which I'm actually going to go through and show you on how to actually build this system actually within this episode. So first of all, we just need to sort out all the chest because the chest there is all this needs to be sorted out before we can even get on with doing all the redstone side of stuff. So initially how this works is we're going to place up 6 hoppers coming in, another hopper system on top with stairs and blocks over the chest area to give that a bit of nice kind of feel and stuff like that. So we're going to get that sorted out. Then we're going to use ice coming along with hoppers underneath, and with then a redstone lock system for the hoppers as well. So we are going to be getting that all done on this side here. So as soon as one bit here works and it works perfectly, we can then just copy it straight along, get that side and get this side here all done, and it should be nice and simple. So let's get that bit done right now. With this, I'm going to jump into a time lapse with getting this done here, and then we can then get our first lot of redstone done, so we can then get the final time lapse done with getting this built up. And then yeah, so we'll see you soon all, and let's just jump into time lapse right here to get this these chest areas done.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up, it's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape.
Heyo, so I hope that you enjoyed that time lapse there. So we've actually got pretty much everything all sorted. So we've got all of our chests in place, ready to go. So this is actually quite a big storage system what we're actually building here. So there is actually a couple of things what I've actually forgot to grab. I've actually forgot to bring in some comparators, so I'm needing to make sure I've got that sorted. I don't know if I needed packed ice or compressed ice, so I need to try and get that sorted out. But this is actually the storage system roughly sorted for this, and pretty much we have used 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, almost 7.5 stacks of chest for this. I know that seems quite overboard having all those chests in there, but that was actually quite important for us to have. Now, what we are going to do is very quickly, we are actually going to go around and actually placing all of our uppers in place, because we're needing these uppers to get actually ready for what we're actually wanting to do. So we are just very quickly right now just placing in all the uppers. I think we could be using only only really about like 5 stacks of uppers to really do this with. There we go. Has that gone the right way? Yes. So it is quite annoying that this is actually quite high, but I'm needing a lot of storage, especially for the purpose of what we're actually trying to do for this. So I'm actually just really concentrating at this moment of time of getting these top 2 layers done of a double chest, because that is normally the most difficult part of sorting out the uppers, especially from like down here when it's actually 6 high. Initially you can actually reach I think it's about like 7 blocks something, but it's always best than that just to really drop it down by 1 extra, just in case. So this is why we've kind of like done 6 chests for this, but of course this back end system, this back end area here, it's actually for us to come in to do any real major repairs on the system, so it's a lot easier to then deal with. Now there is actually a couple of ways that you can actually do this, and that is a constant water flow system, so it actually goes round in a circle, which will then allow you to have your items constantly going around. Now that one it's actually quite easy to set up considering, but it's also quite a very basic setup for that. So if I do initially try and do that, it does make it so much more nicer, but I do actually need to show you what we're actually needing to do. But I do need to go and actually get some comparators made, because that is actually just really one major thing I am actually missing on this. So I do need to try and get that sorted out. So I'll probably get these here done very quickly. Go and get the comparators to what I'm needing, and then we can then start working on the redstone for this system. I might have to actually try and get some packed ice for this then to potentially work. Now I have got compact ice anyway, so let's just very quickly actually let's just have a look. Some reason it doesn't really want to show up certain stuff though, unfortunately. So let's just grab some of this here. Let's just see. So we've got blue ice, compressed ice. I think that should be fine as is anyway. So I have actually done some testing for that. Now we've only used literally just over 3.5 stacks so far of the little sections here. So what I am actually going to do is I'm actually going to go and get me comparators, because I do need my comparators in place to get this really started. So I will go off, get that done now, and I will be back literally just in a jiffy. Heyo, so right, we've got our comparators. So I had to go off and actually go and get some quotes from the Nether, and literally we've got that sorted. Where is my redstone now? Oh, okay. So I would have to try and get my redstone now. I think I might have used it all. Oops. So I actually need to try and go and get some more. Ayo, so right, I've actually got the comparators. I've also had to go and get some redstone as well, because I kind of like boo-booed, with getting that sorted. So I had to go and get some more, redstone dust for it. So let's get some sleepy sleeps. So we've actually now got, I think pretty much everything what we need for this. So what we're actually going to be doing is we're actually going to be building it up onto this top system here. So we do actually need to make sure that we've actually got a way to get up there. So what we're going to be doing is that, yeah, on this first strip here, which I'm going to be showing you, we're actually going to be placing one block there, one block not there, ideally. So we're going to be placing a block there, for this to kind of like work. So we've actually got a free section there. We're going to be having a torch there, which would then lock the system. And then what we're going to be doing then is we then need to have a redstone coming across. We're needing a small comparator there. So a redstone and repeater. I'll comparator up there, coming across onto this top end, like so. So let's just get that sorted out. Then a redstone there, and then going over the top, and that is pretty much the entire system to what we actually need to do for this. So first of all, let's just get that there done. Let's very quickly jump over here, so we can then actually show you what we're needing to do. So we're going to be placing our comparator there. We're then going to be grabbing our hopper, and that's then going to go into the hopper itself. And then of course, me being me, I placed it into the one area. So that then comes into here, and then down at the bottom underneath, which I've actually forgot to pick up. I'm not very good at this today. So we actually then needing to then go and grab our repeater, because we're actually needing to have a repeater for this to actually work. So what's going to happen is when it actually then goes on top, this then allows for the system to work efficiently. Then of course we're actually going to be going on top anyway, to actually get this sorted on a quick time lapse anyway. But this is just to show you on how easy this system really is. So we're needing to place our repeater there facing that way, and then we're then needing to then have our redstone coming up. Okay, underneath here we're then needing to then place our redstone torch. So our redstone torch is going to be there. So what's going to happen is when the system recognizes it and then goes through, it then changes the redstone to then allow it to then come down, and this can be literally placed straight across, really easy. We do actually need to make sure that we've got Blocks, what we are not going to be needing too much of. So I'm just trying to think, have I got a anvil or do I need to make one? I need to sort out the villages in here. Literally quite quickly. So let's just very quickly see what we need in for a anvil, because I am quite silly with that. So the anvil, we're needing blocks of iron and iron ingots. And of course we have got plenty of iron, so we can easily do that right now, because we are actually needing to have our blocks actually renamed. So when we actually start placing blocks into the system, it will then work so much more easier. So what we're going to be doing is here, we're actually going to be grabbing just 3 of these. Oh, sorry, 9 ingots, and we're then just going to be placing straight across, and we then got our anvil. So our anvil, just for now, can just pop there straight away. And we're then going to be then renaming some of these. So we're actually needing altogether 4 in each one. So I'm actually just going to do enough for 10. Okay. We're actually going to be naming this just that for now, because we're needing that for the upper. And of course, when we then got everything all then sorted and then worked out, it's actually going to be a lot more nicer for this system then to work. Now, what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to be testing it with our redstone system here in general anyway. So you're needing to place 4 in, like so, and then you're needing 41 blocks. So I'm actually going to be placing right now into here of 41 blocks of iron. If I add in 42, that then should work to allow for this system to work efficiently. But for some reason it doesn't want to seem to work, so I think I might have to remove that redstone system there, what we've got, actually over just a little bit into like a different location. There we go. So that now should have worked. There we go. So make sure that you've got your redstone actually pointed in the right direction for it to work. So if we then come down and actually have a check in that chest area, we then should have all the iron what we've placed into the system into this bottom chest. That is the redstone system what we are going to be using. It's a very simple system. It does work really well. This is why that I've got all these extra blocks down here, you see, so we can actually just lay out everything what we needing to lay out. Okay, sort out the next part of the section. So that's what we're going to do. So we're actually going to just very quickly jump into a time lapse to show you this getting done on the rest of the system entirely, because we do need to get that actually all worked out. So let's just very quickly pop into the time lapse literally right now, and we will see you very soon when all this has all been done.
Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up, it's time to look at the enemy. Look look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything.
Hey, so hi, we've now got everything all sorted out now, for our redstone contraption for the storage. So we've placed in all the redstone torches in, which we didn't show on the time lapse, and everything else all is being now sorted. The only thing what we're needing to do at this moment of time is we're needing to go up and actually change everything what we're needing to change up at the top, and then actually really get everything all decorated to really make it all fit in. So we do actually need to place these back in again here. So literally just that there, and to actually blend that in. So let's get some sleep. And now what the initial thought is with this, because we've got so much iron blocks, we're actually going to be placing these first 3 rows here of iron blocks, or maybe these first 2, then actually then come round literally with everything else, from like the sugar cane to our redstone to all our chest systems, including all the mob drops as well, what we got from our mob farm there. So really this is actually quite a really awesome little thing this is. Now to actually record this episode so far, it's taken about like an hour or something daft, just to really get this going. So this is about an hour's worth of collecting, which is actually not too bad if you really think about it. Just over 2 stacks. So it's been quite a nice process with getting this done, but we definitely do need to make it look a lot more nicer on the inside, but some more like framing up to make this actually look like a factory. Get this out here sorted out, and get everything all really looking really decent. Now what we do need to get, if I can find it, there we go. Now I've actually had some cobblestone on the outside there with everything. Now what we do need to do is to actually get some more filler or filter system blocks actually drawn up, to really make sure that we've got everything all set up as quickly as possible. So we've got just over a stack and a half of the filter blocks, and we can really go up there to get this really started with, and that's what we're going to do now very quickly. So what I like to do is grab some of these here, and then just very quickly place some basic steps actually coming into here. Now I'm not too sure what I'm actually going to be placing into these fully, because of the fact that I'm just not too sure, but I do need to make sure that all these are actually filled up, to allow us to get everything what we're wanting to actually get in. There will be stuff from the nether coming in, there will be the diamonds going into here, or the dirt system, everything like that. Now, I know which ones I put these filter blocks into, because it's pretty much like the same. They're going to be empty until we get everything all placed in with the right amount of blocks to what we're actually needing it for. So we are just going to work through this really gradually, making sure that we've got everything in place. Now I like to use the redstone comparators as an indication that they've been filled. So then I know then I don't have to worry about filler block side of things, because it's already there in place, ready to go. Now, if you do actually set this up wrong, don't worry about it too much, because that does happen. For some reason that's only had 3 in there, so let's just get that one into there. So they do need 4 filter blocks before you actually start putting stuff in, to make it just a bit more easier to fully understand whereabouts you're actually needing to put everything. Now, it's like I said, I don't really know what I'm actually going to be placing into these 100%. I do need to sort out the iron blocks to get that actually set up. Now, keeping in mind, I did do quite a few stacks, about 2.5 stacks of these blocks. I might actually need some more potentially to finish this off. I hope not, because that's just me. I want to try and make this as easy as possible, actually for myself on the world, but also making it quite easy enough for everybody to then think that they can actually build this without any major issues. And that is why I'm wanting to try and do this. Now, there's always going to be plenty of cobblestone and stuff like that anyway, but this is why I'm wanting to do this as it is. So let's just move those 12 to over there, and let's get this sorted out here so I can actually get up and down safely on this side here and all that. So that is all the uppers actually set up. Now the only thing what I'm actually needing to do mostly now is to make sure that I've got the flow system in place, and that is what I am going to try and concentrate on but I do want to get these here actually set up, ready to go. So when I do start bringing around the iron blocks in massive bulk, I've then got the iron blocks there actually in the system, and actually ready to go. That's why I'm wanting to try and do this as much as possible. Now this system will work to whatever level, but you do need to be careful that you don't give the full maximum redstone signal, because it will then start off all these as well. So what I'm going to do is here, I'm actually going to place 41 straight into here, do 42, and then just give this a full backup side of things. So I've got these first 2 here with our iron block areas. Next, what we're going to do then is we're then going to then place in our repeaters into this one here. Next is then comparators into here. So this will then give the necessary signal what's then needed. So we're just needing to make sure when we do this, to make sure that it works and it actually goes down quite nicely. Now I've got the repeaters, we've got the comparators. What's only going to have just one strip for that. So this is going to be mostly the blocks, what we may need potentially as we're like going along, but it's all about trying to make sure that we've got everything what we're actually needing for this system to actually work. So these four here have actually now been set up. Now what I'm going to do is over here, because we do need to start moving stuff over eventually, is I'm actually going to place the cobblestone bits into some of these here, and probably around about 4 lots of chests. So that's going to be like 24 double chests of cobblestone going into place, because we've got a lot of cobblestone to try and actually contend with. So this is what we're going to do here very quickly. We're actually going to be placing these first 4 lot of chests into the part what we're actually wanting to get this into. First of all, I need to make sure that I actually sleep if I can get out of here, because as soon as I've got those chests over there completed and actually emptied, we can actually get rid of them from this spot to make it a bit easier to get in and out of the necessary area. And what I might actually do then is some of these here, maybe this side, I might actually turn into the food chest and keep all the major block area actually clear. So what we're going to just do is very quickly here is provide the necessary push through of this to make sure that's actually working. So let's just give that a quick filling. There we go. So we've got 4 sections here of the cobblestone to what we will be needing to store, and then we've then started doing all our redstone components over there as well with our iron blocks. We've got our repeater section, we've got our comparators. Next we're going to do like all the redstone, then just work along, get all this set up, get these set up here. I might actually put some chests, some frames up, and that just to indicate what is in each one. So I might actually do that on the floor and go around with that as well, to try and get that sorted out as best as possible. And then just sort out the roof, sort out these 2 side bits here, and put this over, so it actually looks like it's a proper decent little place for the storage. And of course I need to sort out the door as well. So the episode has really been round about the storage compartment area, which still needs a bit more work to be done, getting all the ice up, getting all the water flow, and getting the system actually in place as well for this to work efficiently. I might actually move that over to here with like some stairs or something coming up from that side, so I can come up onto like a different floor here, come round, place it all in and get it flowing through. I will try and figure that out in between now and the next episode for that one, try and get all that set up, and then this thing needs to then be built up and get all the animal farms and what we're then needing in there with the redstone system underneath. So definitely between for now and for next episode is finishing off the storage system, get the animal farms section finished off and recorded for that, and then getting in all the villagers into these sections here. So it makes it a lot more easier to then deal with that. So that is pretty much going to be for this episode. Now, I can't really do much more on this episode anyway, because it's like pushing up to probably around about 40 minutes now. So I am going to leave it there, y'all. I've actually got my Halloween skin taken off now, so I'm back onto my normal one to then get ready for Christmas, which is like the next holiday coming up now for us. So till next time, everyone, if you're not already done so, please do subscribe, turn on the notification bell so then you can be notified when we upload a brand new video. So do take care, everyone, and we see you all later. Bye.